Hello and welcome to the Sheep Seats. I am your host, Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep, and we're just hanging out tonight. Just you and me. Maybe a little mood music. Should we put on a little mood music? I think the only mood that we need is some ducks. Let's feed some ducks tonight. Let's draft some teams. If you're hanging out, welcome. If you're not hanging out, I didn't want you here anyway. All right, so football has started. How many times have you checked your NFL teams? I don't know. I tried not to do that at all. I'm busy refreshing all of my MLB ones. Cheers, everybody. I know I didn't list it, but let's start with the Diamond After Dark. 2-game slate. I set up some ranks for this based on some projections. Let's just start with that. We've drafted a couple of these. We've got our friend the Freezer in here. Then we'll draft a playoff team or two. We got a couple of teams live over here for the finals. We'll see what happens this weekend. I don't really know what I'm cheering for. My one dinger team is still alive right now. It is being pushed by Ronald Acuna Jr. Maybe you've heard of him. Probably might not. The way he's playing this playoff period, he might end up being one of the highest known guys in the finals, though. It's not exactly where you want to be, but hey, we'll be happy to get one team there. A couple of 7th inning stretch teams live. Hopefully push one of those through. If you're on the clock, I haven't thought about this slate at all. I think we're going to go Kyle Harrison first here. Assuming the chalk first pick. Yeah, Jose Ramirez. Cleveland's probably the most drafted on this little 2-game slate. I'll get Kyle Harrison against Colorado first and see what we get back. Just got stuff loaded up by projections at the moment. Of course, if you haven't already followed the stackingdingers.com down there, me and a few other wonderful people are putting together some written MLB best ball content. Chris Baseball has been dominating that the last few days. I think we're going to go a little LA stack here. These guys. He's put out his awesome data analysis on last year's playoff contest. I assume if you're watching this, you've already read it, and if you haven't, then you probably should. He is also jammed 150 lineups already, which is crazy. But yeah, I think he's working on a little write-up for that to talk about how that went and what his strategy was for that. All right. I want to grab an outfielder here. Maybe we take Gertrude. LA stack. And see, most people are going to be jamming Colorado. So let's just take the Giants guy. Handiger is projecting well, despite just really been pretty quiet so far after coming back from injury, so he's not going to get drafted too much, I don't think. Here we are. Our last little pick here. Definitely go pretty much right here. For Dawg, putting together Colorado team, sort of. I guess everybody's putting together. I guess I didn't read the signals very well here. Yeah. Take a Cleveland guy. And there we go. Here's our initial draft. Diamond After Dark. Well, let's get into a pennant draft next. Let's do it. Waiting for 3 people. Meanwhile, we can hit the Fangraphs button here. See what the latest is on predicted playoff teams on Fangraphs. Start there. We'll wait for a few more people to get into our pennant draft. We can get some together here. 3 more to start. So yeah, we got league here. Let's see where we are at. Let's start the easy place. Let's start in the NL. Clinch by our bye teams are pretty set in stone, according to Fangraphs. And probably most other people. Braves and Dodgers are lining up for the bye. The Dodgers have turned into a bit of a conundrum with their starting rotation. Obviously, they have lost Julio Urias because he is a moron. No way he'll be back this year. So he's pretty much gone. And now, last week, the talk after Kershaw's start was that he was toast because he had like the lowest fastball velocity of his career. So everybody's thinking he's hurt. We'll see when he pitches again how that turns out. Do you need 3 more people for the pennant draft? Cool. That Rose Baseball Channel. So we need a couple more people. And now the latest news. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on Kershaw. See what happens this week in his next start. If he's looking good, obviously, if he's healthy, he's going to be pitching, but it's kind of a scary proposition. If he's not going to be healthy, but the secret draft pick, quote unquote secret guy that I've been adding to Dodger stacks was Walker Buehler, who we found out today will be shut down this year. They're just not going to push him back. He didn't have a setback, they said, but they are not going to push him to start or pitch at all this season. Obviously, they could have done that, pushed him, but the doctor said no. So he will not be back. He was been my secret pick. So basically, the Dodgers are down to Lance Lynn, who has looked like a fraud. an old man who relies on his fastball, not solved his home run problems. And they have Bobby Miller, and they've been starting Sheehan, and Pepio has been up and down. So they got some young guys that could fill in, but kind of a scary proposition going into the playoffs, not really having an established rotation for them, which seems like it would have been nice for them to do. Kershaw, Urias, and then probably Miller, I guess, is your 1, 2, 3 guys. That would have been nice. Maybe Buehler piggyback with Lynn or something like that, but that's pretty scary proposition for the proposition. But they should still clinch the bye. And now we have sort here on make the playoffs. Yeah, so Phillies and Brewers kind of locked in according to Fangraphs odds. I have no problem with that. Obviously, I'm always pessimistic about the Brewers. Who knows what happens to them? They're not really too far ahead of the Cubs at this point for the division, but they should be able to hold on to at least a wild card. So I don't know that I love a 75% chance. But yeah, if you're watching, we do need 3 more people for our pennant contest. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with me talking about playoff teams until then. Yeah, so the Brewers and Phillies, no problem there. Cubs kind of locked into the playoff spot. And then, like I said, they could still pull out the division. I wouldn't put it past them. I guess I wouldn't put it past the Brewers lineup, just taking a couple of weeks off and being crap. And wild card. Yeah, so the Phillies locked into that one. They're not going to catch the Braves. Cubs, and then the last one is the one that's up for grabs right now. Diamondbacks right now have made a push. The Marlins are there, Reds, Giants. Sort of a grab bag of teams. Reds having their young, exciting lineup that could hit. Although they did take a pretty big loss with Matt McClain being out for a bit. We will see if I'm not sure when he is getting back. We are here. Let's check into that. Another 2 to 3 weeks. That was as of 9/3. So that's not great for their chances of getting him back in time to make some noise to push them to the thing. They did pick up Hunter Renfroe and Harrison Bader to fill some of the hole. Obviously not didn't play the infield, but or I should say not obvious, but those guys don't play the infield. So they don't really fill in for him correctly, but their young guys have kind of a mix and match situation that they can kind of play all over. And they've pretty much called up everyone now. They are hurting in the rotation, so the Diamondbacks are kind of in a position of strength with their lineup fully healthy and bringing up Jordan Lawler to fill in not fill in, but make up for some of the lack of bat of Nick Ahmed, who they cut. Also, hilariously, just announced the Roberto Clemente Good Guy, award that each team has a nominee, and Nick Ahmed was the nominee for the Diamondbacks. So that really sucks for that guy. He's been like part of the rebuild the whole time, and now that they're about to get to the playoffs, he gets cut, and they kind of just gets nominated for the Roberto Clemente Award for their team. It's kind of silly. We do need one more person. So so that really stinks for Nick Ahmed, but that's baseball, I guess. I mean, yeah, sucks for him as a person. Marlins, Giants, I don't feel great about any of those teams, but one of them's going to get in. I do think all of those teams could do something once they're in. But I mean, they all have a lot of flaws. So I've personally been building a lot of. Let's go back to division here in the league here. I've been building a lot of Dodger stacks and avoiding Brave stacks in the pennant so far. Because it's usually 3 people that are drafting the Braves in most drafts, and they're getting split up pretty much between 3 people. I think the best way to draft the Braves right now is if you can be sure to get into a draft that you're only splitting it with one other person. And the Dodgers right now are in that boat where you're usually only splitting it with one person. Obviously, a bunch of my teams are dead because they have Julio Urias and they have Walker Buehler. So, one of the dangers drafting early, but the idea of getting Walker Buehler as a last pick before he came back was pretty tempting. So I've been building a lot of Dodgers, Phillies, Brewers teams on the NL side, as I'm not like super into fighting over Braves with 3 people. There's a ton of leverage in this contest if the Braves are out early in the playoffs. When you're thinking about a playoff contest like this, where the best case scenario is getting 2 teams, most of your roster live in the World Series, made up of 2 teams, one NL, one AL, and you're in these draft pods where everybody is drafted, or 2 or 3 players that people are drafting Braves. There's just like so much of the field you can pass by mostly fading the Braves and hoping they do poorly. And if you want to be like me and lose all your money on the Braves swamp stomp, that thing seems like something. Chop on, or whatever their semi-racist chant is. All right. We still need one more. Really not popping off too hard. Chris isn't in every draft. So let's take a look at the AL side. Right now, Orioles are closest to being the bye team. Astros have put on the burners lately and really starting to separate from the Rangers specifically, and the Mariners have been sort of keeping up. But the Astros look good. Our draft is starting soon. Get back over there. Got some friends in here. Pete Breck is in here. So let's go. Let's see what we got. We got the turn, which is an interesting spot. I have not drafted this contest for a few days. Been a busy few days after the holiday at work, so I have not drafted for a bit. What time I did have, trying to finish up some football drafts before that season started. But before, at the end, is a good place to put together a Houston duo if you want. We'll quick peek back here. So Mariners make playoffs. They'll probably make playoffs. Basically, Rangers have really lost out. I was drafting a lot of Rangers when I could, but I think their price is going to be low right now based on the risk of them not even making the playoffs. Interesting. We'll see what happens in our draft here, but we put together. We got so we start with the usual Acuna or Strider first. E. Nelson takes a little stab at the Dodgers, taking Mookie. Jared's going Seattle. Let's see what our friend Blake does here. So he goes Houston. So in this case, in this scenario, I'm going to go a little stake down here on Philly to start off here. Shout out Gypsy if you're out there. Hey, what's up, Hunter? How are you tonight? So we're going to put a little stake here on the Phillies. When I'm doing this, my first team, I usually like to just queue up the entire team so they are starred as we draft. Don't know, Mike Lorenzen maybe. We don't want closers. Christopher Sanchez might get some starts. So we're sort of layering in our Philly guys here. And we do see B. Nelson here takes a Atlanta piece. Like I've been talking about, we're having 3 teams fighting over Atlanta. Loman puts a little Atlanta Tampa claim here. B. Nelson is just a wild card at this point. His team looks like it is a advance only type of team. B. Breck getting a nice Houston stack. We're just going to fill out our studs here. We're going to take Trey Turner. We're going to take Zach Wheeler. Do you have a plan from here for our AL team? If you are new to drafting this format, definitely go check out Stacking Dingers down there and look at the first article from Chris, aka Baseball. And he goes through all the data from last year and really lays out the base strategy of drafting 2 teams, an AL and an NL team. You try and get the World Series matchup correct, which is always our goal in these drafts. So we're starting with our Philly stack. I like it. I like to get Schwarber on here, and then we kind of have what I consider the core Phillies all on one team. Obviously, there's plenty of other contributors on that team that we could add later, but getting these 5 is excellent. So yeah, Lohman continues his Atlanta-Tampa build. B.E. Nelson is just off the board, or on the board, I guess. Just trying to advance to a min cash. This is a min cash team right here. Jared's got a Seattle Dodgers. Short Gamer's got a nice big Atlanta stack to start. Blake gets his Houston. So yeah, here is where we are going to put these guys. Their ADP is way down there. Okay, so we are going to take Schwarber, and then we are going to put our claim on Baltimore here and take. I think we're going to take Adley first. He's the highest ADP. So this is our basic strategy for this draft. We are building for the Baltimore Phillies East Coast World Series. And the way that this is breaking, well, this isn't really a starter anymore. The way that this is breaking, we should be able to mostly put together that team. All right, so Short Gamer here takes his AL team to go along with this big Atlanta stack, puts a little stake on the Twins here. Roman's building a nice Tampa, Atlanta. Really nice team there. Nelson continues to be a wild card. Taking Vlad. Jared's ending up with a decent Seattle Dodgers build, and Blake here did take his NL team and take a little stake on the Cubs. So this is sort of how most of these drafts go. You take Santander and Gunnar here. We definitely don't need any more infielders. So I'm going to unstar some infielders here. Kind of have to start thinking about how we're going to fill out our pitchers. Yeah, this is a good time to draft. Most of the rooms have one wild card in them, in my experience so far. Building, I take Shohei Ohtani, who's not going to be playing in the playoffs. I don't know if he's going to play any baseball more this year. So yeah, just like not to make fun of this person, but they don't know what they're doing. But drafting right now, waiting for rooms to fill, you're only getting one person like that. Lohman does take a diversion because he missed out on, since he was fighting over his NL team with two other people with Atlanta. He does take a diversion into Milwaukee there. I don't love that. Taking Burns and Woodruff. But I understand maybe trying to build. He's got like no one fighting him on Tampa, so building in a couple of chances to advance the team there is nice. We're going to take Cedric Mullins here and sort of, let's see, how many more we got? We got 3 picks. We're going to pick 3 pitchers. I am going to get Ty Walker here, I think. I think he could be the third starter for Philly. Suarez has missed a bunch of time. Lorenzen, he got his no-hitter and all, but I don't love it. And then we're going to take a couple of Baltimore pitchers here. Grayson has looked really outstanding lately, as we kind of hoped he would coming back from AAA. and they are using his innings wisely, just giving him like 6 days rest each time. I do worry a bit how much juice he has left, but we're building a team where Baltimore gets to the World Series. It's hard to see them doing it without Grayson being good in the playoffs. So he's our first target here. From there, I usually go Kyle Gibson, just because they throw him out there as just like an old reliable. But maybe we'll mix it up here and take a Bradish or probably take a Bradish. No, let's do that. Let's take Bradish and Grayson. So we end up with a 5-4-3. We've got our Philly, Baltimore split team. This is exactly what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to put together, a portfolio of teams of 2, at the most 3 teams selected on each draft, and hope to get lucky. So yeah, take a quick look here. Let's see how many people are queued for another one. Can maybe run back another one. Waiting for 4. Anybody wants to jump in? Yeah, take a look back here. Blake gets his nice full Houston stack. I missed out on Altuve, I believe. Did somebody else take Altuve? Yeah, our wild card took him. But yeah, he's got most of the core pieces of Houston. Verlander, Brown. He missed out on Framber from our wild card. And then he brought his NL team with the Cubs. Perfect build right there. Jared gets a nice Dodgers Seattle combination. Short Gamer gets a nice Atlanta Minnesota combo. And Loman gets some core pieces of the Atlanta stack. Combine that with a Tampa Milwaukee combo. Don't love putting those pitchers there together for Milwaukee, but it is what it is. Up his advance rate chances there, and B. Nelson will probably advance out of this pond and make us all upset. But that's how it goes in these drafts. So, you're waiting for 3 people for another one. We can also wait for that to fill. Let's have some fun and let's try and win a trip to Miami. If you have not seen, Underdog has put out, that instantly filled. Not sad about that at all. Two people on the playoff contest too. While we wait for that, putting that up on my phone so I can see that start. Here we go. I haven't drafted one of these for a few days also, so this should be interesting. This is a 12-person draft. The field is 13,008 entrants, based on there being already 6,156. I have a feeling we're going to get pretty close. I did wonder, because the prize structure is very, very top heavy. The top 3 this week get that chance or get that invite to the live finals in Miami. Hey, what is up? Graphic 13 Go Turquoise White Horns. What is up? We're taking a stab here while we wait for our MLB Playoff contest. Yeah, obviously this is not a contest anybody should play. It is one of loss, and it's like a true lottery ticket type contest. But obviously, getting to that live final would be awesome. If you look at the people that chase the live finals on DFS, the other DFS sites like DraftKings and FanDuel, you can see them just like throw away money and get 1 seat or 2 seats, and it's a sort of a losing bargain, but it's fun to chase. We'll see how they structure these contests. They are apparently sending 3 people each week for the first 12 weeks of the season. Again, we get the turn here. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for contest sizing, buy-ins. If they're always going to be the $10 entry, 3 people move on, or if they're going to do some other interesting stuff. Hey, what's up? Bo Sox, yeah. Just a huge long shot bet. But if you get there, you get there. All right, what do we got here? I don't even know who's playing who, to be honest. We are a little bit in the weeds here. I'm going to take Derrick Henry, no problem here, as our core running back. Let's build the stack. Let's build up a little stack there. Start off with the Derrick Henry and Chris Olave. Start. I imagine that's taken a few times, but I would also imagine that from here, most people aren't building out that game further. I'm not saying that we will necessarily here, but be an interesting one. You get a pretty unowned stack if you decide to take more Tennessee or New Orleans guys. I don't know that that's my preference. You might try to build like a quarterback, 2 pass catcher stack from another team, maybe with or without a run back. Obviously, if you're trying to win, be 1, 2, or 3 out of 13,008 other people, you really kind of have to hit on all cylinders. Be interesting to see what people win these with, and then how they play these contests after. I do like the 12-person drafts compared to the 6-person drafts for NFL and MLB for that matter. For the daily type contests, I feel like I'm very bad at scrolling down in the 6-person contest, and I always end up with too chalky of a lineup. So I like these because they kind of force you to get a little bit weird. I would go a little bit further in the player pool. And I do know there is a goal line stand contest open now that is a 12-person with a regular payout structure, and that's probably what I should be playing. But we're having a little fun on stream here. We're dreaming about Miami in winter. open this up here. What do we got? Got anything stand out here? Metcalf is gone early. I did build a nice, double stack earlier in this contest when I thought that JSN might be out. The Lockett Metcalf combo with Gino, which was, I like that team. It does have George Kittle, who's apparently not going to play, maybe. I don't know if that's official, but yeah, I don't see. Excuse me, Kristen here builds the Chargers Miami combo. Other than that, I don't see a lot of correlation going on. We do have first player here, NFL Blitz, taking his double for their two running back build. If you are unfamiliar with the NFL Battle Royale contest, your lineup consists of a QB, one RB, two wide receivers, and then one tight end, and then this flex position. So this is always the weekly debate on what you're going to fill the flex with and what's optimal, what the field's going to be doing. Let's see what we got here. All right, I'm going to take Debo here. If George Kittle does sit, we're going to take Ayuk. So we are going to build the 3 wide receiver build here. If Kittle does sit, those guys could see a lot of targets. We'll try to get Brock here. Obviously, we're leveraging off of the CMC drafter with this build, and taking a late QB. Pretty much everybody. Let's see. Kristen here doesn't have a QB. And NF4 doesn't have a QB. They might be building the Gino stack there. I don't think Gino's gone. No, he's not. Sorry to say, I do not know what Minor Threat Black Sheep is. Dark Sheep just is a screen name I've used forever since I was a kid. It started out as Poofy Sheep, and then that wasn't cool enough back in the days of playing on BattleNet, playing StarCraft on dial-up on BattleNet, so I made it a little bit harder with Dark Sheep, and eventually in the early 2000s it was cool to add numbers instead of vowels, so just added those in and pretty much used it ever since. So that sounds like a song though. Minor Threat, maybe a band. Okay, nice. I was just gonna say that sounds like a punk band. Oh, so NFL Blitz does take Gino unstacked. An NF4 fan had the opportunity. S. Dongan is a double tight end build, which is an interesting build. Yeah, so looking at this field, not a lot of correlation going on in general in this draft. Freiermuth goes, and maybe going to run back. All right, San Francisco with him. We do need a tight end. Kittle is sitting here, which is interesting. a triple San Francisco stack is kind of a lot in this format. You have to really score a lot of points to get 3 guys through. So yeah, we're going to take Brock Purdy here. We could take George Kittle. Everybody, but one person has a tight end, I think. There's 2 people there, 2, 3, and then maybe get a swap. But we're going to take Purdy here for sure. And sort of a couple of options here. We could take the Juwan Johnson or Taysom Hill in our bet that this Tennessee-New Orleans game goes off even more than through Henry and Olave. But I think I do like... I'm going to take a little homer pick here with Christian Watson being out and potentially other hamstring issues throughout that team. I'm going to take Luke Musgrave as just like a guy that could potentially eat up targets out of nowhere that we don't expect. Yeah, there it is. Brock Purdy, Derrick Henry, Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Luke Musgrave. Don't hate it. Don't love it. But yeah, we are still waiting for 2 people in the pennant. If anybody wants to jump into there, I think otherwise let's run one more Dawg Bowl for the fun of it, and then maybe we'll just call it a night and get ready for Sunday for a big football day, and get ready for refreshing all of our MLB teams. All weekend we tried to get to the finals. We do get picked 2 here. I should have left it open. I'll leave this playoff basketball contest for MLB for now. So I do have my one dinger left. It is currently in first place. Knock on wood, cross my fingers if I believed in any of that stuff. Yeah, so it's currently in first place. It has Acuna, so feeling okay about that. And then I have 2 or 3 live for the 7th inning stretch finals. So we'll see what happens this weekend. Obviously, being a major pessimist, I assume they're both going to fall off. But hard to tell. We were talking about this in Discord earlier. No Bo Sox and I. It's hard to tell exactly who needs what. So yeah, interesting pick here. Second pick. I wish I would have left this open left the other draft open so I could see. Ooh, they give us Justin Jefferson, which I'm not gonna be upset about. I'm just gonna take it and not think too hard about that. Tyreek Hill goes first. Yeah, but I kind of wish we left that other draft open so we could see who is normally here. Yep. Yeah. We'll see if we can get a playoff team through. Just want one finals team, you know. All my DraftKings full seasons are dead. I have a handful in the second half contest. Still live this week, so that's the first week of the playoffs there. I'm guessing it's pretty hard to put Justin Jefferson with where's Hawkinson ADP. Yeah, ADP is 18. So obviously that would be a nice thing to fall to us. Build that. Don't believe that will happen. They're playing Tampa. That is interesting. That leaves an interesting idea. we'll see what happens here in this draft. But potentially, this might be a Baker Mayfield team. I don't know how many people are actually building Baker Mayfield teams in this contest. He does have an ADP, so he has been drafted. He's down there with Mitch Trubisky. Wait a minute. Why does that? You know what? Not even gonna ask. I don't want to know why somebody has a Mitch Trubisky team. If that's you, I would not do that. Backup quarterbacks, probably not what you want to go with. But yeah, there's a group of guys here. Quarterback Desmond Ritter's interesting. I wonder if you can put together. Here is. Yeah, the Pittsburgh London Desmond Ritter's an interesting build if you wanted to risk it on that. Hey, what's up, Bernie? Bernie was an excellent guest last week. Go check that out if you want to see hot, up-to-date Best Ball Mania discussion. That is the one issue with the screen. Is hard to get people to go back and watch old episodes. That's all right. If I get one person watching, talking about fantasy sports, I'm a happy duck. That's why we're feeding the ducks. Happy sheep. Yeah, so our goal here is to get Hawkinson and build this just a little mini, or build this into a Kirk team. Our secondary goal maybe is to grab a running back here and build a Tampa stack on the other side of Jefferson. Certainly don't believe that Baker Mayfield is going to be the highest scoring quarterback of the week, but we just don't know. Definitely saw some people starting to speak up towards the end of Best Ball Mania and own up to their Baker Mayfield exposures, which is interesting. Obviously, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, older wide receivers that could still be effective this year, no matter the quarterback. Maybe they drag along Baker to some relevance. Yep, there goes TJ Hawkinson. Almost got him. I was pretty excited if we can do that. All right, so yeah, so here we could go with the Justin Fields team. I don't love that. I do like grabbing a running back here. And we're going to go down a little bit. We're going to grab Aaron Jones. Yes, sir. This is a Dawg Bowl draft. That is, and no, you cannot be my +1 to Miami. I mean, maybe you can be. I don't actually know. But yeah, we're going to take Aaron Jones here, which I think could, with the potential injury situation in Green Bay this week, he could be a huge part of that team. Yeah, and maybe thinking about this more after we did it, maybe we should have taken Justin Fields there if our plan was to bring, because I don't think Aaron Jones was going to go. So that would have been a smarter draft if we wanted to build a Fields Green Bay little mini combo there. I do think we are going to time out and take another running back. Yeah, sorry, I got a little hung up on that mistake. I do think we should have maybe taken Fields and then come back with Jones. Maybe take a DJ Moore if he falls to us. Yeah, this leaves a lot of options. Do you think that in general, 2 early running backs aren't going to be popular builds in Dawg Bowl? So maybe we're getting a little leverage there. I think a lot of people, and we can take a look when we're done. We didn't do that after the last one. Yeah, we can take a look to see how many people are building 3 wide receiver teams and how many people are building 2 running back teams, just in general. I think J.K. Dobbins is an interesting guy on the slate, being that he has a chance. It sounds like Mark Andrews is likely to play, but he does have a chance to be more of a focus of that offense potentially. If Andrews is out, and obviously I'm not going to try and predict what their target distribution is, because that's not something I am knowledgeable about. And maybe we should have taken a tight end there. Tyler Higbee is screaming up the board based on Cooper Kupp's status, and him being potentially the main guy there right now, that Stafford would even trust to throw to. So I do think that if you want to get crazy in this contest and shoot for first, building up a bigger Rams stack would be interesting. I mean, it's gross to say, but a Higbee, Van Jefferson, Matt Stafford, and like this person is running it back with Seattle too. I like this build here by iPop Prof, the Seattle Rams. But most people are going to go Seattle from there out. So if you want to go a little nuts, building this team and going Rams is interesting. Be unique in the contest. Obviously, who knows what the Rams are? But and so we were talking about 2 running back, 3 wide receiver teams, and Tristan Eastman here is taking the 2 tight end build, which is going to be unique. He's taking 2 guys that could be, I mean, Mark Andrews is the number 1 target there when he's healthy. And this makes sense more with Andrews, Hawkinson, Andrews, Higbee to me than Kyle Pitts. But obviously, in future weeks, like an Andrews, Kelsey. But to me, doing 2 tight ends in these short roster contests is pretty silly, unless at least they're like 1 wide receiver 1.5 on their team. But people are going to do it. People do it in DFS, building their 2 tight end, putting tight end in the flex because they want to be different. Blah blah blah. Cousins does go here. So what do we got left for quarterback and tight end? I think we're going to get a little nuts here. We're going to do it. We're going to take Luke Musgrave again. We didn't need to take him there. But we're going to do it. We're going to build a little Green Bay stack there. The Aaron Jones, Luke Musgrave combo. And then Chris Godwin is gone. So we're going to take Mike Evans to run back Justin Jefferson. And now we've basically put us into the decision of quarterback being our last pick, and we have multiple options here. We could take I don't know that he'll make it to us. We could take a naked Anthony Richardson and assume he gets there on the ground. So that's one option. Then we have a Jordan Love Baker Mayfield option here to go with Mike Evans and our little Green Bay stack. So could have taken a lot better tight end with a little more predictable production, but even that is a question mark. I do wonder how many Green Bay guys are being drafted in these contests in combinations. Seems unique. Definitely not being drafted with Tampa too. So, yeah, I do think, looking back and thinking back, I think we did make a mistake. If we thought about this play on Green Bay, taking a Justin Fields and then Aaron Jones would have been great. And then, we wouldn't necessarily even need to take another like a pass catcher and just assume that Justin Fields gets there on the ground himself. So yeah, now we're just waiting to see what we get back with our quarterback. I think my preference is a unstacked Anthony Richardson. Yeah, AJ Dillon or Aaron Jones could end up with massive usage this week. I do think if you are building multiple like DraftKings rosters this week, that if you believe in that game and that Jordan Love isn't terrible, that maybe one piece of Green Bay, like Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, Dobbs, can pretty much do whatever. Just like putting one piece, maybe with a lower owned piece on your rosters that have more chalky stacks or whatever, but or taking or if you're building like an unknown stack, taking the more popular piece is interesting. Here we see interesting Kate Otten taken. That's interesting. This person building a little Miami, no Chargers run back. Yeah, so I think just putting a little bit of thought into your correlation on these teams without going over the top is going to put you over the field in terms of your results. Just because I think a lot of people are clicking on names they like more than trying to put a ton of correlation in with them. That's just a gut feeling. Just a gut feeling. But we'll see what shakes out. And obviously, if they run back the same 13,000 person contest with 3 going to Miami again next week, we'll probably see people look at the winners and try and repeat those builds. So next week we're taking a shot at this. We'll be looking at building differently than the field. Yeah, so we do we get all of our options back. We're just going to continue this off-season Anthony Richardson bet that we were on, and take Richardson unstacked, just for the ceiling. Yeah, so interesting team here. It's fine. Don't love it. Don't hate it. Richardson. Running backs, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins. We did get Justin Jefferson pick 2, which is nice. And Mike Evans and Luke Musgrave. So there we go, guys. We did want to check guys and girls. Let's see. Get the last pick here. Oh, we did miss that. I forget that NFL, the dailies are gone. No, I don't need any help. Thank you, Underdog. So yeah, this probably, I got 5 entries. That'll probably be it for me on this contest, unless we're looking at a lot of overlay. But yeah, that's the stream, I think. Thanks for hanging out. We drafted a few different random teams. We just had a good, nice little beer and a nice little Friday night. So thank you for watching. We'll have probably a little more structured show next week, talking MLB playoffs with some of the other guys from Stacking Dingers. We'll be putting that together probably next week, Thursday or Friday. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, be sure to go subscribe to that, and we'll see you next week. Have a good first weekend of watching commercials. Watching NFL.